Hello students. Today we are going to discuss about a chapter combustion and flame. Chapter 6 of science class 8. So what is combustion actually? Combustion is a process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to produce heat. So what is combustion? It's a chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to produce heat. The substance which undergoes combustion is called combustible substance, or it's also called fuel. So the substance which undergoes combustion is called combustible substance, or it's also called a fuel. Sometimes light also produced during combustion. Sometimes light also produced during combustion. So what is combustible substance? Substance which burns in air to produce heat and light are called combustible substances. Examples: wood, charcoal, kerosene, petrol, diesel, liquefied petroleum gas, CNG. All these are combustible substances which produce heat during combustion. Okay, so what are combustible materials? The substance which burns in air to produce heat and light are called combustible substances. Next, air is necessary for combustion. In lower classes, we have learned an activity to prove air is necessary for combustions. Okay. Next, a very important term in this chapter is ignition temperature. What do you mean by ignition temperature? The minimum temperature at which a substance catches fire is called ignition temperature. The minimum temperature at which a substance catches fire is called ignition temperature. So a substance will not catch fire and burn if its temperature is lower than its ignition temperature. Different substances have different ignition temperatures. For example, the ignition temperature of kerosene is less than that of ignition temperature of wood. That means kerosene requires less heat to burn, but a wooden piece requires more heat to burn. So different substances have different ignition temperatures. Substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire are called inflammable substances. Substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame is called inflammable substances. Example: petrol, alcohol, LPG, CNG. Their ignition temperature is very low, so they catch fire very easy. Next, what are the conditions necessary for combustions? There are three conditions. First one, there should be a fuel. What is a fuel? A combustible material is called fuel. Second one, air. What is the role of air? To supply oxygen. Oxygen is a supporter of combustion. We have learned it. Then heat, to raise the temperature beyond the ignition temperature. Then only combustion will take place. So a substance will not burn without one or more of these conditions. If there is no fuel, there will be no combustion. So there will be no combustion if there is no air. Okay, all these are the conditions necessary for combustion: a fuel, air, and heat. These are the conditions of combustion. Next topic, how do we control fire? So we learned that there are three conditions necessary for combustion. Fire can be controlled by removing any one or more of these conditions. If you remove any one or more of these conditions, we can control the fire. Fire can be controlled by removing any one or more of these conditions. So a fire extinguisher cut off the supply of air or brings down the temperature. So how does a fire extinguisher control the fire? It cut off the supply of air or it brings down the temperature of fuel or both, and thus it control the fire. So we can control the fire by different methods. First one by using water, second one by using carbon dioxide. So water is the most common fire extinguisher. It can be used only when material like wood, paper, etc. are on fire. Water cannot be used if the electrical equipments are on fire, because water conducts electricity and can harm those who trying to put out the fire. So water cannot be used to put out oil and petrol fire also. Water cannot be used to put out oil and petrol fires because they float on water and continue to burn. Because oil and petrol float on the water and continue to burn. So first method of controlling fire it is by using water, second by using carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is the best fire extinguisher to put out the fire caused by inflammable materials like oil and petrol and electrical equipments. Carbon dioxide is heavier. Why? Carbon dioxide is heavier than air. That is why it covers the fire as a blanket. Carbon dioxide is heavier than air and it covers the fire and cut off the supply of oxygen and put out the fire. Carbon dioxide is stored in high pressure as a liquid in cylinders. Chemicals like sodium bicarbonate, potassium bicarbonate produce carbon dioxide near the fire. Okay. So these are the ways to control fire caused by petrol and oil. So next, types of combustion. What do you mean by combustion? It is the process of, what is combustion? It is a chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to produce heat. Next, what are the different types of combustion? There are three main types of combustion. They are rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, explosion. So three different types of combustion: rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, explosion. In rapid combustion, substance burns rapidly and produce heat and light with the help of a external heat. For example, burning of an LPG, burning of CNG, they are considered as rapid combustion because substance burns rapidly and produce heat and light. But in spontaneous combustion, a substance burns spontaneously and produces heat and light without the help of external heat. But in rapid combustion, there is external heat. It happens due to external heat. But in spontaneous combustion, it takes place without the help of external heat. Example, phosphorus burns spontaneously at room temperature. Phosphorus burns spontaneously at room temperature is an example of spontaneous combustion. Next, explosion. It's a type of combustion in which a substance burns suddenly and produces heat, light, and sound with the help of heat or pressure. Is an example, explosion of crackers on applying heat or pressure. So there are three types of combustion: rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion. Spontaneous combustion happens without the help of external heat. Explosion is a type of combustion in which a substance burns suddenly and produces heat, light, and sound with the help of heat or pressure.